What's going on, guys? Thank you for watching year one of my Utah Pioneers franchise mode. We just made some huge moves after for a lack of words, disappointing season. If you have not watched year one, make sure you go check it out. Link is in the comment. And if you haven't already, check it out above. Links up here. With that being said, let's jump into it and let's see what the team's looking like here in year two. I believe we made some pretty, significant changes that are going to make some really big additions to this team. So on that first line, Clayton Keller's down to an 85. That's unfortunate, but we ended up picking up Sam Reinhart, an 89, 1 year, 10.5 million. I feel like he's really going to bolster that first line with Michelli and really hopefully get Keller back to the form that he was at. We brought in Fogel to be there with Cooley and Hayden. I feel like that's going to be a killer line there as a second line. Gunther, he is now up to low franchise if you didn't see in that first episode. And Jonathan Drouin we brought in with Yamamoto and Carcone with Jenks and Josh Doan, ex-captain's son on the team. Jake Bean and Hakanpää rocking that first line with Moser and Dursey on the second, with Fleury and Soderstrom there on the third. And then in net, we have our man Spencer Knight. He's up to an 85 already, low elite. Let's see what he can do this season for us. I feel like this team is ready to, make a huge step forward. Looking at the AHL team here, we finally have Connor Geeky into the AHL, the high top six forward. Also playing with him is Lackermacki. We finally have playing in here. He's a 79 now. He might even make the NHL this year. It just depends on what's going to happen. He probably won't crack it until next year. Fedotov's in here now as well as a 77 overall. So we have some of our prospects finally coming up. And on defense, I believe we have a couple here as well. And the same two goalies in net. We have Villatala, and then I have Korahanen. I believe that's it. Jump right in here to season 2. It really wouldn't be saying much to say we would hope for the team to do better this year, but let's hope for a better season this year. We have a much better team. Let's sim through the first month and see how we do. So after month 1, much better result than last season. I believe last season we started off 0-8. A 6-3 record is a much better start. It looks like we are second in the division. We're tied for first with 3 teams here. The Jets obviously in first place because they have less games played with 12 points. Clayton Keller looks like he's back up to his 90 overall. That's good to see. Playing there with Reinhart. He's got 12 points in 9 games. Michelli has 11 points in 9 games. Reinhart with an 8 and 9. Reinhart still playing there with them. That first line must be rocking it pretty good. Gunther there, he's got 6 points in 9 games. He still has his little franchise. Jake Bean there with 6 points. Yamamoto, Cooley. Definitely some good point production going on here. I like what I'm seeing. Let's check out the goaltending. Let's see how Spencer Knight's doing. A 920 and a 263. It's not too shabby for a guy that just came over that wasn't doing well last year. Let's keep hoping he does well for us. Connor Ingram always doing pretty well for us. It seems like it's only 1 game, but he always does pretty well. A 928 and a 2. So now let's jump in here to month 2 and let's see how we're doing. Wow, I'm looking at that last month. We're definitely a streaky team. We had started the month with a loss, but then we went on a 2-game winning streak. And then we lost, what is that, 4 in a row, won 3, then lost 3 in a row. We're definitely a very streaky team. Let's see what the points are looking like after that second month. Michelli's got a point per game, 86 overall still, 22 points in 22 games. Keller, 20 points in 22 games. Reinhardt only got 15 in 22 games. He's a -5 now. He's not really working out so much as I thought he was. Let's give another month there on that line. Then we might have to split up that Keller, Michelli, and Reinhardt line. Maybe move Reinhardt down to the second. Let's see, maybe move Cooley up potentially. I think that might be good for his development as well. So let's see how he's doing. Let's check out the goaltending real quick. Spencer Knight with a 911 and a 290. Connor Ingram with a .89 and a 312. After I just said he was doing pretty well for us all the time, he's not doing well right now. Spencer Knight kind of kicking it there. He's still doing all right. Definitely not great. Let's hope we can kick it up here in the third month, and then we'll see where we're at. After December, Pioneers are sitting in third place there in the Central. We're 20-13-3, so not looking too bad. Michelli there with 39 points. He's an 87 overall now. Definitely not looking too bad. Sam Reinhart kicking it back with 33 points in 36 games, so he's definitely starting to pick it up. We shouldn't have said anything about him. Clayton Keller there with 29 points in 36 games. I think he's still a 90. He is. Fogel worth the signing, 27 points in 36 games. Cooley. Bean, that was definitely another good pickup for us. Carcone. Gunther, the low franchise. He's now an 82. Thursday, Hayden, 17, Yamamoto. So some guys definitely not participating as much as they probably should be. It's cool to see Reinhart, Michelli, and some of these younger guys definitely developing and putting in some points. So let's hope they can keep developing going here into month 4. See what we can do here at the deadline. Hopefully we'll keep going forward and maybe we'll be buyers here at the deadline. Quick check on the AHL team. Jack McBain leading the team. He's just a medium top 9 forward, but Locker Mackey here not far behind, 22 points in 26 games, actually tied for first place in points. He's an 80 overall now. Fedotov 14 points. Connor Geeky here 13 points in 26 games. He's now a 77 overall. A couple of our prospects there in the AHL doing well, so it's good to see. Let's get to the end of January. Let's see how we're doing here. After January, Michelli's still leading the team in points. He's now an 88 overall, so definitely a good pickup for us. Saying pickup, he's not even a pickup for us. The dude's been here. Seems like a pickup. Now he's an 88 overall, really killing it. He's got 57 points in 51 games. Reinhart, 49. Keller here with 50. Cooley has 35. Fogel. So that second line is definitely helping us out. Jake Bean, Gunther's still an 82. We have the same participants. Let's hope they keep growing here going into the playoffs. So now we're just going to sim right up to the trade deadline. So after simming up to the trade deadline, our team's actually doing pretty well here. We're 35, 24, and 5 with 75 points. We're sitting 3 points out of being in first and second place there in the Central. I think we have a spot in the playoffs. I wouldn't guarantee it, but I'd say we have it, so I'd be a conservative buyer. Let's see what we can grab here. I didn't see much on the trading block before the trade deadline. We'll see what we can get. Let's go ahead and sim right here into the trade deadline. Let's see what we can do. Top guys on there: Olmark again, Ekblad, Forsling, Montour, Borkstrand, Hagee, Kuzmenko, Schwartz, Gavrikov, and Zucker. I'm not really seeing anybody we need here at the trade deadline, so I think we're just going to move forward without doing anything. I don't really see any trades that we really need to make, and we're not really trying to just blow all of our assets here to be something that we're not. Let's see how we do here in the playoffs if we make it, and let's just enjoy the season. Quick look at the lines here after the trade deadline. We did make a few changes. We got Michelli up there in 88 with Reinhart and Keller. We kept that line together. Gunther we moved up from the third line, so now it's the young guy line: Gunther, Cooley, and Barrett Hayden. We got Druin with Doan. Now we got him on the third line, centering with Fogel, Yamamoto, Jenkins, and Carcone there on the fourth. And on defense, nothing changed. Same thing in net. We got Spencer Knight. So let's jump in here. Let's sim to the rest of the season. Let's see if we make playoffs. So after simming up to the playoffs here, we did end up clinching. We got the third place there in the Central. So we are going to take on the Colorado Avalanche in the first round. That's going to be a tough first round opponent, but it's awesome to see that we were last place last year, and now we are third place in the Central. It's a huge improvement from this team. I love to see it. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can make a splash here in the playoffs. So let's go ahead and sim here. Let's sim up to the playoffs. And like I said, our first round opponent, the Colorado Avalanche. This is a very, very good Colorado team. So let's sim these first 4 games and let's see where we're at. And we sweep the Colorado Avalanche. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We have to go check out everything here. I'm not sure what happened. Sean Durzi led the team with 4 points. Oh my, what is happening? Yeah, dude, Durzi with 4 points in 4 games. He led the team. Gunther with 3, Keller with 3. So not a lot of points there, but we ended up sweeping the Colorado Avalanche. How did Spencer Knight play? That's got to be the real test here. Very low scoring game. Spencer Knight, a 9-4-1 in a 1-7-2. Just absolutely going off. That is awesome to see. Let's hope he continues that up because that is amazing results. So our second round opponent, the Nashville Predators. Definitely an odd second round opponent. Yeah, let's go check out the lines of the Nashville Predators real quick. Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, Angelista, Barabanov, Sissons, Nyquist, Tomasino, Svechnikov, Villiers, Perron, Novak, and Perisic. Yossi, Zadorov, Fabro, Shea, McDonough, and Lawson. And then who they have in net? Saros. Oh my goodness. This team's actually not that bad. They made a couple of changes. Wow. That's actually not a bad team in Nashville. We might have a test ahead of ourselves. We did just come off beating the Colorado Avalanche. So let's see what we can do here in the second round. So same thing here. We're just going to sim the first 4 games and see where we are. Wow, we're up 3-1 the first 4 games of the series. Let's go one more game and see what happens. And we're moving on to the third round. We win 4-1 in that series against Nashville. We're moving on to round 3. That's a surprise. Michelli there with 13 points in 9 games. Let's check out the point leaders real quick. Keller with 12 in 9 games. Michelli with 13 in 9 games. Reinhart, that first line just popping off right now. Gunther with 6 in 9 games, so not really doing as well as he was. He's now up to an 84. Dursey there was 6. Fleury was 5. The depth isn't really coming in as much as we thought, but still the depth is there. And that first line just killing it. Let's look at Spencer Knight's stats real quick. Spencer Knight, not as far as they were, but still a 918 and a 242. Good stats going in here, going to the conference final. And we have the Vancouver Canucks here in the conference finals. Let's see what they're rocking here. So they still have Elias Pettersson with Miller and Lindholm. They have all 3 centers on first line for them. Garland, Bluger with Besser there. Hoglander, Ratty with Podkolzin. Vitaly Krasov still playing there. That's funny with Suter and Kerfoot. And then they have 95 overall Quinn Hughes. Oh my goodness. And then Hronek with Johansson, Cole, Susie, and Yolson. And who they have in net here, I'm assuming it's still Demko. So yeah, it's another good team, but we should definitely move on if we're meeting these teams as well as we are. Let's hope we can keep moving on in the task here. Again, I'm going to sim the first 4 games. And we get swept by the Vancouver Canucks in the conference final. Oh my goodness. That's a heartbreaker. It's not that bad. You know, we should be happy. We were just in last place last year. So the fact that we were in the conference finals, that's a blessing in itself. You know, we're basically playing at the cap floor and we somehow made it to the conference finals. So I think there's a bright future ahead of us. Wow. That was a heck of a season to live there. We didn't even make any changes there at the deadline. So, wow, I'm really excited for the future of this team. So with us being swept there, I'm just going to sim to the rest of the season, see who the Stanley Cup champion ends up being. It's the Vancouver Canucks. So, you know, we end up losing out to the eventual Stanley Cup champions, so that's not too bad. And the Calder Cup champions is the Rochester Americans. We'll stop real quick and we'll look at the awards. Taking a look at the playoff performers, Sam Reinhart here, 18 points in 13 games. A really solid addition there for him. Clayton Keller there, 17. Michelli 16. So that first line just popping off. Michelli up there doing 89 now, low elite still. I think if we can, we're going to try to keep this first line together. They're all 90s now, 89, 90, 91. So yeah, we're going to try to keep that first line together. We have the money to do it. Let's hope Sam Reinhart wants to come back. Gunther there, he's still low franchise. Now he's up to an 85 overall. Barrett Hayden, he's up to an 83. You know, we just need some more depth scoring. Like Cooley here, just not enough from him. I'd say we give him another year and then we'll see what he's doing. He's 21, so he's got a lot of time here to develop still, but that's just really not enough this season. 3 points in 13 games with a -4. Just not enough from the kid there. We might have to do something a little bit later in this. Looking at the awards, the Vancouver Canucks, the Stanley Cup champion. President's Trophy goes to the Edmonton Oilers. The Campbell to the Vancouver Canucks. And Toronto, they beat in an all-Canadian final. Awesome to see. So it's been Canadians the entire way through here. You know, it's been Vancouver and Edmonton winning the Stanley Cup. And then you had Toronto in it. And then I don't remember who won the year before. Oh, Washington. So they beat Washington. It's been a lot of Canadian teams, though. Looking at individual trophies, Art Ross goes to McDavid. Hart goes to McDavid. And Norris goes to Bouchard. Lady Bington McKinnon. Michkov gets the Calder. Pettersson gets the Conn Smythe. Shesterkin gets the Vezina. Jennings to Olmark. Bill Masterton to Lacombe. Fowler goes to the Capitals coach. Selke is Kopitar. Ted Lindsay to McDavid. And the Maurice Richard to McDavid. Wow. So we're looking at the AHL awards, just showing them here. Not going to say them all. Team awards as well. So after that season, we had a lot of one-year contracts and extensions to hand out. Looking here, Sam Reinhart, big extension to give out. Oh, he only wants 9.5. Okay. For 6 years, though, I don't know if I want to give him 6, maybe 3. I'd say I'm comfortable for 3. 3 years, 9.5. Keller's locked up for quite a bit. Michelli's locked up for 2 more years. Dursey's 3. Yeah, you know, I'm not comfortable giving Reinhart that money for that long. So let's do this. Let's give him 2 years, 9.5. We'll see what he says. Warren Fogle here, 1 year, $4 million. We'll give you like 3.7 for 1 year. We'll see what you say. JJ Moser. Oof, you want a contract and you don't get cheaper. Keller. Okay. You want a contract till your UFA. How about 3 years, 6.8 for JJ Moser? See what they say. Gunther here. I want to lock you up. Ooh, you want to be cheap. Okay. 8 years, 6 million. Heck yeah, I'll pay that for Dylan Gunther. That is going to be a crazy deal at the end of it. It's going to be such a good deal for us, especially if he keeps going this low franchise. That's going to be an amazing deal. Hawk and Paw, he wants to come back. I don't want to pay him that long though, so I'm gonna do the same thing. 1 year, 5 million. Duke's dad doesn't want to come back. That's fine. Carcone, I didn't mind bringing you back. You want to get paid though. I might hold off on you. Druin, what do you want to come back? I would say like 1 year, 2.25. Actually, how'd you do for us last year? We'll hold off on you. The draft lottery results are here. Seattle jumps from 4 to 1. It looks like Nashville gets the 4th pick from Tampa. This is gonna be an interesting draft here. It looks like it was going to be pretty weak, so we're probably going to be trading away a lot of the picks that we have. We have a lot of second-round picks, so I'm not really sure what we're going to do with that this year. And Hawk and Paw signs with us. Dylan Gunther signs with us. So those are huge, huge signings for us for next season and going forward. The Gunther signing, that's just going to be huge for the next 8 years. That is a massive signing for this Utah team. And we are now here at the NHL entry draft. Let's hop right into it. I'm not really sure what we're going to do here, but let's see who wants to trade up. Let's see who wants to trade down. Let's see what the options are. Let's see if we just get better here. Not really sure what happened there. We lost the files, and apparently the game auto sim the draft. I'm not really sure, but it's all right. A lot of second round picks. We got to the conference final last year. Let's look positive. It was a good year for us last year, so let's just sim to this year. Let's get the rest of the contract signed, and let's get into this next year. And Warren Fogle ends up signing with us. Sam Reinhart signs with us as well, and Moser signs with us. Some big contract extensions before the contracts have to be signed, and let's see who else needs to be re-signed here. Guys like Nick Bukestad, we could probably release. Carcone, we'll see what you want now. 1 year, 2 million. I can do that. Druin, same thing. 1 year, 1.5. You're being reasonable now. Actually, we'll do 2 years, 1.5. I don't mind that for you. McBain will qualify. We're just going to qualify these guys. Hayden Fleury, what do you want? Yeah, I'll do 1 year, 1.1. What he says. Duda here. We have to sign him, so we will. Leonard here. We're just going to qualify. We're going to sign this prospect here. So our AHL team's getting a couple defensemen. Ready. Qualify you. Qualify. We're going to release you. We should probably start signing a couple of these guys. And I believe that's all the contracts that we had to redo. Now we'll sim through and we'll see if anyone else needs to re-sign here. Druin signs with us. Carcone signs with us. Hayden Fleury signs with us. It's looking like everyone's going to sign with us here. So let's go ahead and just sim to free agency. Here, a couple more guys are going to sign their RFAs. That's awesome. So now we're finally in free agency now. So let's see who the top free agents are. I forgot to lock up a pretty important player here. Spencer Knight, $5 million for the next 2 years. I think it's a pretty reasonable contract. Let's see what he says. And Connor Ingram here also wants a contract as well. 2 years, 1.5. I don't mind that. We'll sign him. Spencer Knight signs again. This season, it might have been a fluke. I'm going to think this wasn't a fluke, and we're going to run this team back. I didn't make a lot of changes here. We made a couple two-way signings, so our AHL team has a couple of more guys. We have a couple of guys that joined in here, a couple of guys that matured. So let's see if we can grow into our roles here. Let's see if we can have our own fill-ins. I think we're just going to sim to next season, and we're going to see how we do. Quick look at the team here going into season 3. First line still Michelli, Reinhart, and Keller. Keller up to a 91 here with Reinhart at a 90, Michelli at a 90. They get a +1 boost. Fogle up to an 87 now, and Logan Cooley up to an 86, and Gunther at an 86. So that's awesome to see the growth there. Lecker up from the AHL. He's now an 83. Josh Dona an 84, and Carcone an 83. You got Druin, McBain, and Yamamoto. So this team is looking a lot better since season 1. I think this is probably one of our best teams. The overall growth, we haven't really traded for anybody. I mean, we traded for Lecker. Joan was growth. We brought in Druin. I mean, some of these guys have just grown here. Reinhart, the great addition of Reinhart. I think that was great for Michelli. On defense here, Jake Bean was a huge addition. Hockenpaugh's down to an 82. He's an old guy. I think he's just here for being a veteran leadership. We got Dursey and Moser here at an 86. And Hayden Fleury and Soderstrom, they're getting a +3 there on the bottom pairing. And Spencer Knight jumping up to an 86 there. He still had his low elite status. You got Ingram back up to an 83. I'm really excited to see what this this team's got ahead of it. You know, we were barely touching the cap floor last season. We had to pay a couple of guys this season, but I definitely see us having some success in the future here. Can't wait to see what we got going on here in season 3. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that bell and subscribe so you know every time we drop a video here on the channel. Also, make sure you hit our other channels at SellyHard at Twitch, Instagram, and X for all our up-to-date content on our other platforms. We'll catch you next time, and peace.